And today I'm going to show you how to render lard. Now I started off, I've had this cooking for a few days at a low temperature. At night I turn it down to 200, during the day I turned it up to 250. And I've got it in a turkey roaster so I can set the temperatures good so I don't have to worry about it when I'm gone. But what I did is I diced the lard up into little 2-inch pieces so that we end up with, and as you can see, we got a lot of lard, liquid lard, but none of them are white anymore. They've all turned brown and kind of settling. So basically what we're going to do now is I'm just putting it into this. That's a very small screen so that the renderings can be basically taken out. And then we just scoop this here. And then when we get, actually these will be cracklings when they get all the oil out of them. And I cooked it until they sank. They all, at first it couldn't sink because it just looked like chunks of lard. I did not start with any water in the bottom. Some people do, and if you're going to cook it at too high a temperature to keep it from burning, you would have to do that. But I started it at 200, and that it ain't going to burn at 200 degrees. So basically we just keep going like so. Okay, so basically you can use your lard to cook anything that would call for butter or coconut oil or anything like that. You can use it. And the lard is very, very good for you. God created it and it's good. It's best if you do your lard from a grass-fattened hog, not corn-fattened. More omega-3s that way, but it's good for you either way. It's not, you don't have the bad fats, or such a small percentage of bad fats that it's fine. Pie crust, you make pie crust out of this lard, you'll never fail. Store-bought lard is altogether different. This will melt at room temperature. If it's 72 degrees in your house, 70, like my mom keeps it, it'll almost be a liquid. It'll be, so it's really easy to measure out. Unlike store lard, you try to put it on the counter. Margarine's the same thing. You take margarine that we don't use any margarine anymore because margarine is very, very, very bad for you. But what we do, margarine will stay in a cube. Same thing with store-bought butter stays in a cube. Home-done butter does not. It would melt at room temperature. So somehow they do something different with it. Home-done stuff is so much better. You can use this to make cookies. You can use this to bake. You can use this for basically about anything. It's so universal, but like I say, it makes the best pie crust. And the crust will be so flaky no matter what. You can even, whoops, I goofed and re-roll it up and put more flour down and do it all over again, which they say is a no-no. But if you use this lard, it'll still be a good. I actually did that once with a neighbor of mine because she said she couldn't get her pie crust to turn out. And I said, well, the trick is home rendered lard. And, well, we were rolling it out and it just was not rolling out, and I didn't get it round, and it cracked. So I wadded it up, and she goes, oh, no, don't do that, And I said, oh, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. This is a never fail. And sure enough, it was the best pie crust ever. So, yeah, it's amazing the different lards, and I don't know what it is that's, even in a store-bought lard, that makes it different, but it's different. It doesn't melt at the same temperature or anything. So basically, we just kind of do this. I got a bunch in here. And what I've done ahead of time is This is set at 200, so this is my jars heating up. I just got a little water in the bottom just to heat the jars up so that when I put the, actually I got it set at 175 because this is going to be cooling some in this pot as I'm doing this. You want the temperatures to be pretty equal or else what will happen is your jars will break. Can't put hot stuff in a cold jar and not expect it to break. So basically we just do it like that, and I'm going to use this bowl to keep from making a mess. I'm going to set it there and let that drip there, and then I'm going to take, oh this looks really good, take my lid off here and take my jar out and put my thing on it so that I can, and now all I'm going to do is just like so. And we are going to pan this. And so I can get it a little closer so I'm not dripping. There. And I always can it in quart jars. Some people prefer pints, but I go through it quick enough that a quart jar is fine. It'll keep quite a while on your counter. My mom, I can remember, she kept it on her counter until the quart jar was gone and just left it on the counter. It'll mold, but the key is if you get all the moisture out of it, it'll keep a lot longer than if you don't get the moisture out. You have to have all the moisture out. And like I say, I've cooked it a few days. So there's no moisture in it at all. There's water, you know. Okay, we're getting close.
Do I have what? A television phone? I'm sorry. Do you have a television phone?
Okay, now all we do is we are going to put a lid on it. Make sure that it's wiped clean. And yes, so. And then we're going to tighten that down as tight as we can. Well, not as tight as we can, but I need a rag or something because it's hot.
But I just needed to know.
And now this, just because this jar is so hot, it'll go ahead and seal, and if it's kept in a cool place, it'll keep for a couple of years. Some people say that you have to can it and pressure can it, but or freeze it. If it doesn't seal, throw it in the freezer, it'll be fine. But yeah, that's basically how you do it, and if you like what you see, subscribe and share it with your friends and like it. And it was great seeing you, and I better finish my canning. I probably have about 5 jars, I'm guessing, by the time I get done.